Director Housing, the Director Planning, all the officials in the department of the Housing Department. We're going to start with our meeting. We are going to have, I don't think that we are going to have a long meeting. This will be only the report that we have in front of us. I also want to welcome the committee members in the meeting and also Mr. Salbuta and his team. On that note, we are dealing with very serious things as housing, and housing speak directly to our people, and when you are a committee member of housing, it means you must be very committed because you speak directly to the people that are in need of housing. And that's why it's important for us as leadership also to show example when we are dealing with these issues of our community, especially when it comes to housing. Because it's a right of every citizen in the country to have a decent house and a safe environment where they can live. So on that note, I want to say to my team and to the committee members that are very progressive. You know that we are a partnership, we are progressive partners. We are not a coalition like the others, the GNU, we are progressive partners. And it's also for me an honor to lead this department with the dedication, the staff that are so working very hard. And I didn't have opportunity to salute you. I sent you an email where I have salute you when the National Standing Committee was in Naisna. You really, as a team, really have made Naisna proud. And I have to say to you, even with our difference, the way that you have conducted and the way you have put things in place on that day, the National Standing Committee of Housing were very impressed with Naisna. And I have to say to the team, because it was a team effort, it was not a one-person effort, but it was a team effort that they have said that Naisna have the capabilities to deliver housing to our people. On that note, I want to thank you for that. How you have conducted yourself, how you have dealt with issues. And also on that day, also the acting the municipal manager. I also want to say to you, the way you have led the team that day, it was an honor for us, how you have to conduct yourself. On that note, I want to say thank you. We are already in the process of starting our meeting. While they are busy, I will give them 2 minutes to sort themselves out here in front of me. So, IT, I give you 2 minutes to sort yourself out here. Only 2 minutes, because I believe in IT. I believe in you guys. I believe in you guys. Thanks.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, everyone. In the meantime, while IT set up, can you introduce your team to us? What positions they held in the department? Thank you.
We start, Mr. I don't know where this come from now after 4 years, but it's fine if people want to be popular on YouTube, it's all right.
Chair, I know the people. I just want to know what is the position in the department.
Mr. Johnny Douglas, can you just introduce your staff? Thanks.
Councillor Rao, I talk about your staff in your department.
The accounting officer in this meeting is the accounting officer, is the municipal manager. He will deal, you speak through me to him, and he will speak from him, he will go to the director. That's how protocol is working if you don't understand it.
Thank you, Chairperson. Good morning, councillors and team. I'm Johnny Douglas. I'm the acting for the day. So I'm also the Director Community Services, and I think it's critical that we must understand the line of command as well, Chairperson. Line of command is the organizational structure that we utilize as a line of command. So I'm going to introduce the director. The director is Dr. Martin, who's the Director for Integrated Human Settlements. So I'll ask him then also then to introduce his subordinates as per the organizational structure, who is our line of command, how we communicate within an institution.
Thanks for that, acting that's why I'm saying protocol, acting director, the municipal manager, from there to the director, and from the director, then he will introduce his team. That is the line of command, and this is how it works in the organization. Thanks.
Good morning, councillors, chairperson, and colleagues. Richard Martin, Director of Integrated Human Settlements. Next to me is Deline. Deline is a Senior Human Settlement Officer. She is responsible in the main for the areas of Hornley, Karatra, Sedgefield, and Renendal. And then Daris, Herbert Daris, who is the project coordinator. He runs the construction works. And then Portia is a Senior Human Settlement Officer. In the main responsible for stakeholder management and the northern areas and our emergency kit, amongst other. And then we have the manager, Landile Putuna. He is the manager for human settlements. That is the team as it stands and in attendance.
Thanks, Mr. Johnny.
Thanks, Chairperson. I also just want to introduce the Director of Planning and Development, Ms. Dunya, is also in the meeting, as well as Mr. Nzuzo from infrastructure side, and also then the Manager Administration, Mr. Charles Botha with his team, as well as our acting communications manager at the back, Nwabis.
Thanks. We're going to start now with the meeting. The meeting is officially open. Point number 2 is the attendance register. Members present 2.1. Members present. Can you introduce yourself, members, so we can know who's in the meeting, committee members?
Thank you very much, Chair. I'm Pindilanes Petros, the member of this IHS committee. Thank you.
Next.
My name is Mboneli Kumelwan, a ward councillor of Ward 7. I'm a member of this committee.
Good morning, I'm Russell Arends, ANC councillor.
And also you are a member of the committee. Councillor Well, can you just introduce yourself for record purpose?
Chair, Chair, good morning, and everyone, good morning.
Thanks. I myself is Mr. Councillor Low. I'm the chairperson of this housing committee. We are going to point 2.2, members absent with leave. I didn't receive any apology. I think no one has sent me apology. 2.3, members absent without leave. Councillor Charlie is not present in the meeting. Councillor Hilton also is not present in the meeting. These are the only 2 people that are not present in the meeting. 2.4, other councillors present. I don't see other councillors present in the meeting. Officials present in the meeting. I see the acting MM and his Director, Planning Development, Director, Integrated Human Settlement, and the managers. I see we have also another acting Director, Zuzu. You are the acting, Mpumi. You are the acting now. Oh, you're representing infrastructure.
I'm representing the Director of Infrastructure Services. Thank you.
2.6 members of the audit committee present, and I don't see anyone there on Teams. 2.7 is member of the public present. I don't see the king here. Point number 3, noting the provision of Schedule 1 Code of Conduct for Councillors of the Local Government Municipal System Act 32 of 2000 and Code of Conduct for Ethnical Leadership and adoption of by Council. Anyone that can we note?
Noted, Chair.
Yes. Point number 4, method submitted by the municipal manager. 4.1, progress, that is a progress report on Earth 3339 Fishaven. Director, I hand it over to you so you can lead us. Thanks.
Chair, sorry man to bother you quickly. Councillor Struble is trying to get a link, man.
Oh, okay,
He said I
sorry.
must just please, because it's difficult in Renendal with that reception there, but he's trying to get a link.
Okay, now I
Just
spoke to
letting
you.
you know.
Yes, I find
Okay,
thanks.
okay,
I spoke to
okay,
him. He just
okay.
have to deal with it on Gmail.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay.
Director, over to you. Thanks.
Thank you, Chairperson and members. Just as a way of background, whilst the consultant is preparing himself, it seems water is a big issue in Isna.
Sorry, Director, we can't hear. You can just get your...
No, that was an off-the-cuff comment.
No, but we can't hear. You can just take
Oh, sorry,
the
yeah,
mic
sorry,
closer to you.
Yes, Chairperson, in all seriousness, this item, as you correctly pointed out, is a progress report. Now, councillors and the public will remember that we had, in previous council resolutions, we have agreed to appoint a transactional advisor to help council to unlock this project, 3339 in Hornley, Fishaven. So since that resolution, we have interacted with one of the transactional advisors on our panel. And just to say, from a SAM point of view, there's an existing panel of what they call transactional advisors that we have. So we have sourced a panel, and the current consultancy, KRMS Consulting, is the company that are doing the work for us. So since they start, they've done pre-feasibility and feasibility studies. They have also engaged, as part of their team, the architect to give us some concept designs, which will all be presented today. I think when the consultant is ready, he can maybe just give a little bit more information on KRMS so that the members understand who they are. But it's important that we understand that they've been sourced via our existing panel. The work at the moment that they are doing is obviously, as I say in the item, there is no financial obligation on council. It's almost similar to a discussion we had yesterday about some other work. Obviously, once the project is realized, they will then, as part of the development process at the end, will interact and their fees will be deducted from the guys that will actually do the construction works and the development work. So that is just a brief introduction. Also just to say that since the last meeting, we had an increased number of members of the public that expressed an interest to be part of the development. At the moment, we have something like 160 people that have registered. That registration comes from the previous registration, which we had a number of people. I think it was something like 60 or 70 from the old, call it the old list. And since then, as I say, it has grown, where people across Knysna obviously expressed. And the process is very simple. They need to come to the office, bring all the information, register. And then the second component of that is we've sent the names and the information, ID numbers, etc., to province, and province have done the verification. That has come back, and what the verification does is just to make sure that people don't double dip, so that those who have already benefited from previous subsidies or those who have ownership already in terms of title deeds, so a full verification is done. And as I said, we have already received that back. There was most probably one or two that I just need to go back to province in terms of just to understand precisely what that means. It normally would indicate that a person either has a title deed already or there's most probably benefited from a previous. In the case where people have benefited from previous subsidies, obviously they can't double dip. So that's a different situation. So from that perspective, there's progress, and as you will see from the presentation today, we have done a lot of work in between. Just the last thing, assuming a consultant is ready, Raymond, guys, are you guys ready? Can you project?
Can I just ask, can we give you 10 minutes to sort it out? Then it is ample time, because we are dealing, and I'm very glad that we are going to deal with the whole earth, because Naisna have a situation where we have 10,000 that are on the backlog, and the municipality was very brave to say that we are going to use the whole earth for the process. So I want them to sort themselves out, and after 10 minutes, half past, we are back. Half past, Posa, Mr. Batuna, half past, we are back. You too, half past, we are back. in. So we can start with the presentation. It's over to you, sir. You can start by introducing yourself, and so then we can move from there. Thanks. Switch on. You can switch on the mic there in front of you. Yes.
Thank you. My name is Raymond Makubedu. I was invited to NISNA to come and assist with this project. Well, of course, it takes me 3 days traveling coming here. So yes, as tired as I am, I'm also a little bit shaky. I'm meeting the council. Who meets the council? But I'm going to be firm and get this project done. It comes a long way. And I come from a company called KRMS. We are transaction advisors. We are a multidisciplinary company, and I'm told that I'm supposed to come and present it to the S80. I believe this is the Section 80 of the Municipal Finance Management Act, and I think I'm prepared. And today is the 30th of July, 2025, and then I'm still working on this professionally. I am a registered construction project manager. I am also a PPP specialist. I am also an architect and a civil and structural engineer. And I am also a lawyer with my LLB.
Now you can go to.
Chairperson, well, I also have my MBA, so we can rock from there. Then at least if I speak to you nicely like this, I get to loosen up, because it was not easy for me. I was shaking this whole morning coming to see you.
Relax, just take it easy, just relax and do as you have to be delegated to be. Just be yourself.
Thank you very much. Then this is my stage. If there's anyone who has the beauty pigeons, they walk the runway. They call it runway, and then they look good there. So I think this is my stage, and I will use the opportunity. So basically what I'm going to present to you today with my friend now, the director and the doctor, the good doctor, it is a development of the NISNA 3339. Am I audible?
Audible. You can just take it closer to you.
Thank you very much. So when we looked at the project, we analyzed it, and there are a number of challenges that we now face, not only here in NISNA or in South Africa. This is now becoming a global issue where we have a very low fiscus. And now we need to partner with the private funders. And we looked at the project and we thought this is the best way of taking it. So this new animal, we know that very few people really can even structure a contract in this format, but we call it PPP, the public-private partnership. These things have been coming a long way. However, with a little bit lack of knowledge, these projects fail, and this is the stage where they fail. This is exactly the stage. So the private funder will bring his money, his expertise, his designs. He will build, develop, and manage. On this one in particular, because I'm dealing with 3 of your projects, which are PPPs, all of them, on this one, we requested that at least the developer do manage the complex, at least for 3 to 5 years, so that when he hand it over to the municipality will have had now a bit knowledge of how to manage such a big complex. 80 stands, and we achieved them. The doctor was pushing me day and night, so I haven't been slept since I met this good doctor. And we managed to also have 103 of the townhouses. 108, Dr. Ne, of the flats, and 144 of the townhouses. So we will be honestly accommodating a big family. And the side where this is, we did some studies, and we saw that people can live there. So this is one way of the future. It is densification. So if we don't densify, we will deal with a sprawl. Now, the sprawl, you can never even come with the public transport there because they are not going to fill up the bus. Now, we need to put people in one place so that when the bus stops, it's full and it's meaningful to a businessman. So I will just proceed from that. I was just introducing my cover page. This project, we already, well, and I'm speaking on behalf, I'm not sure if my CEO is in the meeting. His name is Mr. Sibusiso Khoza. If he is, maybe he will address you later on. But we wrote this on behalf of him. And the most important things that we take from this is that this project is bankable. And it will also give the municipality value for money. And we are also going to have 100% risk transfer. These are the 3 pillars of a PPP to survive. If it is not bankable, that means the project is not interesting enough to the lenders. And then if it doesn't transfer value for money, then why do we do it? And then if it doesn't transfer risk, of course you're going to sit here days and nights and worried, you see, dealing with risk. So we are transferring all of these 3 to this private partner that we want to appoint. The important thing that I'm here to talk about is also one thing. We all need to remember that when we go on a normal traditional tender, we find ourselves having to draw plans and everything, have a tender document, a bill of quantity. I think you know it, you saw many of those. But not in this case. If this was a snake, I will say we kill it from the tail. We appoint a contractor, blank. No information, nothing. He will come with information, he will design, he'll give us what we want, and he will make his money. And I will explain how he's going to make his money and where will he borrow his money. So this is the story, which is a leading script from our CEO, Mr. Khoza. So for today, I'm not going to take too much of your time. I'll just take 5 minutes of each. I'll give you what this animal is all about and what is it that we want to do, how does it work, the roadmap, the stages that we will take. I'm not sure of the comfort break, I don't think so. Well, Chairperson, thank you. You already gave them the stretching of the legs, so no more. The land, project specifics, the finances and the challenges. This is your map. You know it better than me. And this is the land which we are dealing with now. Already, the municipality invested 750,000 into this project to have the unseen services, which are underground water supply, sewer, and all of that. I also know that the province also assisted with some 53,000 and odd hundreds per land. So that money, it's supposed to come back. I must also be paid. You said my 4%. So that money, you will see how we get it back. The private partner that we will partner with, this private party, he's going to give us that money back before he proceeds. And of course, yes, I will also tell you, we cannot, on projects of this nature, find ourselves having to deal with small contractors and all of those. No, we need real big boys. So how do we get those? They must put in bonds. When they tender, the tender must really be very expensive. And according to the document that I've crafted, which can be adjusted, we will definitely need someone who can put on the table R1 million before he opens his mouth. So before we even look at his papers, the municipality must be sitting with R1 million somewhere. Then we will have our preferred bidder. So what is my overview here? I did look at the Municipal Finance Management Act. However, when we met National Treasury Doctor, it was last week, no? Yes. Then they said, which is GTAC, because we already met with them. They are registering the project, they are coming, they are joining us. And so the project is now properly registered with others. So they said that as much as previously we understood that the municipal PPPs do not have to be approved by National Treasury, it looks like it's changing. So they honestly are interested in the municipal PPPs. So that's what they told us, but we looked at all the issues, and this is exactly what this page is talking about, that we are now the transaction advisors. We did receive an approval from council, yourself, that we can continue and do this work. So we are happy about that, and you also, from the MM's office, you gave us a letter to register the project. So the project is registered with the National Treasury, and then it's GTAC, which is the advisory wing. So we're good to go. And the purpose of this project, these projects work in this manner. When we commence the project, definitely we commence the project with minimal information. And the private party is the one who will develop that information, because it's his money that is going to work. And it's him who must see that it's attractive enough or not. So what we need to do, there will come a number of them, and then we will take them through a process called BAFO. So at the end of the day, after we have now maybe having 2, 3, we will have negotiations with all the 3. And then we have what we call BAFO. So the BAFO is the negotiation process, meaning best and final offer. So you are still going to sit with him in this room, and he tells you what to do. But what is it that we are going to do? We're going to make sure that we achieve value for money, we transfer risk, we get the project rapidly built, we execute it, we private finance, quality management, we develop output specifications, and we deal with the triangle of project management as normally as it's been dictated by Act 48 of 2000, which is the SACP CMP. This cost, quality, scope, time, risk, stakeholder, EPWP, employment initiative, communication, integration, and any other procurement requirements. That will be our responsibility. We will look into that. If the project doesn't satisfy certain elements, it failed. It receives resistance, more especially from communities where it's built. So we need to be very careful about the EPWP and employment initiatives. Those they attract and the projects survive. Hence I said, the PPPs, this is when they fail. Once they go on site, no, it's a private party. He has money. He doesn't even take more than 30 days to pay. You take 6 months to pay. So he will pay. This is exactly what I was talking about in terms of the triangle. So we will also take it there, and the housing, they are meant for gap. That means we are dealing with people who qualifies for a FLESP. These are people who are between 3,501 rands and 22. However, my brief is that I need to also allow people who are just above the 22, who will buy those open airs and build for themselves, your doctors, police, and the likes. So we are going to be a little bit flexible there because we have 80 stands. But when we go to townhouses and the flats, definitely those will be FLESP. How is the FLESP going to work here? You will see later on, I will demonstrate it, what the private party is going to do, how is he going to assist these people to do applications, both the bank and the FLESP. And then we take it from there. So let me now start with the procurement strategy. The easiest way I can come up with to explain what this thing is, this animal, I just came with a frame. Everyone might know, but if you understand. So what was I saying? All I was saying most of you, you've been in Gauteng, and then you had a ticket. Some of you, maybe you still have those plastic tickets for the Gauteng. That's exactly how it works. I'm very sorry. I'm very, very, very sorry about this. So how did we manage the Gautrain with Mbombela and Bambodia? Well, I was a young boy, and we needed this train. And so we said someone must build a train and build a rail. And then this person will get his money from the commuters. Now, where do we get our money in terms of 3339? We sell the houses, and then they make profit. It's easy. It works exactly as Gautrain. This little sketch is a standard format. It is being developed by the World Bank. So basically here we say in the municipality, you just don't need to pay a cent. And you don't take a risk. And after the contract term, then you regain the asset. So that land, when we look at it, people will own sectional titles. But what about the open land? So the open land comes back to the municipality, and municipality manage it as the municipality receives services. So the open land will still be a municipal property. So we're selling nothing. We just need someone to come, spend his money, and get what we want. So the generic PPP structure works like this. The municipality is going to be the authority. Then they are going to sign. The municipality is going to enter, which I think the only person with this privilege is the MM. So he will sign a PPP contract with this private partner. And this private partner will go and borrow money. Some of the money he will get it from equity. And then he will appoint a contractor. And also he will do the operations management and also the marketing and selling of the properties and transfer them. Let's look at the next slide, how it works. So there is the institution, which is Knysna Municipality. Then we will go out to bid. And I told you about the bid bonds. And I said nothing less than $1 million. And then they will have a direct agreement with the private lenders. And then the shareholders will kick in with their equity. And then the buyers will go to the bank, borrow money, at the same time being assisted to apply for the FLISP subsidies. It will work. The contractor will build, give it to the private party. The marketing and selling will sell those properties, and the private party is going to be a very happy boy or girl. That's how it works. So the houses, they will be advertised from the plan. We deal with the bank document. We assist with applications. We get the pre-approvals, which is a requirement in terms of the FLISP. Then we apply for the FLISP. And then the units are now being allocated. They are transferred, conveyancing, documentation, and registration. This is exactly what I was explaining on the previous page in any way. It is just a little bit extended here, so we don't have to go too much in there. Now, this is a decision-making structure, which is also another problem. When we don't have someone called a project officer, which the MM, this person represents the MM. It is the municipal manager who must appoint this person. And that appointment letter must be sent to National Treasury. This is the person who makes decisions. He sits with his committee. He is often a project manager by profession with a whole lot of finance background and law. And this person, he makes decisions on behalf of the MM. They will consult when they consult, but this is the person. And why do we need this person? You will also see later. The money we're going to use, it's not our money, so we need someone neutral who can sign and say, yes, contractor, now you've done your work, then you can get your salary. So this is the person, and this is the committee he sits with. We are on the left, we are transaction advisors, and we're bringing all of these professionals. So we are giving you all of these on the left in terms of resource. And then in the middle, We have the internal now, the reps. The municipal CFO will be represented here. We do have the director, integrated human. We have legal, property, and the IDP. So here it's the municipality, that's the decision-making line. And then there is the municipal accounting, the MM, with his team at the higher level. And then the private party comes at the bottom. So this is the decision-making line. Now let's talk a little bit about money. When this private party gets a contract, he's going to borrow money from other people. These are the lenders. They will give him money. Now, the lenders often they are overseas. So for their money to be spent in this country, they need independent certifiers. Now, that's another profession which must be appointed to ensure that the lender's money is spent in terms of the agreement. But who controls the money? The money is controlled by the local banks in a format of an account called escrow. Now, this contract is unique. It's a tripartite bank account. Two people have money. The other one is borrowing the other one money. But none of the two approves the money. The money will be approved by someone who is completely independent. The bank doesn't get that letter from this person called the independent certifier or the project office. No money is paid. So there's no way that the money would have been used for something else. The money must be used in terms of the contract and for the purpose of the contract. And that account, we call it escrow. The CFO will know this. I kept on saying it a number of times. He will know this kind of a bank account. Standard Bank can develop it. They can. I saw Standard Bank can do it as well, but there is also another financial institution called UBA. They also can do that. Then they will establish that and then give it a setup. Now, underneath the escrow, we will have another 3 accounts. Well, maybe 5. So we will have our own because we will have to be paid some fees, one side. Then we have the contractor who must be NHBRC registered to build the houses. But then, remember the 53,000, which was a grant from the province? That money, there's an agreement with the municipality that that money must be ring-fenced. Then that is the one, and then that we call it the SPV. That is the special purpose vehicle. So that money can only be used going forward for other new housing projects and for nothing else. So that money cannot be touched. Then later on, we will pay the bank, and we can see our private partner there, he's dancing. I hope he's in Dubai. So that is how the finances of this project are going to work. The communication lines, the council, yes, it's yourself. You instruct the MM, yes. The province is coming in. They are already there. We are done with that. The project officer, it will be confirmed. I think we said on the 8th. Maybe this Friday, we will just look at this. The TA is appointed already, is there. The private party, the independent certifier, speaking to the team, the technical coordination, they're dealing with quality, and the public sector is dealing with the finance, the procurement, legal, building control. Basically, our plans are going to be properly approved in terms of the municipal bylaws. So nothing, we're not going to skip up. So on this one, I was only showing you the organizational breakdown structure in terms of communication lines. Where are we? This is the roadmap. We've already achieved our milestone number 1. This is where we were registering the project. Of course, when we came into the project was not registered, and that was the first advice that we gave to the municipality and the director, that the project must be registered with National Treasury and the GTAT. So we met with them last week. The MM gave us a letter, and we registered the project. So the project is duly registered. We will meet with them as per our meeting structure that we would deal with it. We did the feasibility, which I gave it into council, and the council approved it. So I have that part done. Now we need to go out into the market. We must go advertise the project. That's where we are. From there on, we go into now dealing with other issues. The big boys who are coming here, if they don't get the job, they start fighting. So this project can be taken to court and it can stall for many years with simple mistakes. So we need to be very careful there.
Sorry, sir. I see there's a problem with director. Can you get IT? I don't know why they have left. We will look. You are so interesting.
I'm still in the sharing mode on my side. I think the connectivity there. Hey? Sorry, Director. Oh, no, it's me. I'm out of the meeting. Yeah, I must rejoin. It's still tethering.
Are you in the right meeting?
Yes, it is still the same. I just rejoined. But if you can check here, this is the other thing, and this is where we are. And this is your emails. Can you see?
Yeah, but it doesn't seem to join. Just go back to that previous one.
Which one? Is it this
Go
one?
back to the where you can join, the email where you join.
Or the email? Okay,
Just join again from there.
wonderful. No, we lost connectivity here. Can you see? We are not connected, no internet. No internet. Can you see?
Aye.
Let's disconnect it first. Connect.
We need to send them we need to show them the planning application and map of the planning and also some of the images.
Okay.
Otherwise, they will not know what it is that we're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
Hotspot.
Huh? Yeah, I want to hotspot now. So when you do that, it's supposed to give you that.
Yeah. Thank you. I want to do this quickly. I want to do that. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Which side are you charging?
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go on.
Yeah. Ciao, ciao. Thank you. I think that was the breaker. I was asking Chair to deny, so it came by itself. So back to our milestones. We want now to go into the market. The procedure there is that we must test the market first in terms of the RFI, request the information, and then we have the preferred bidders. So these are the only few people we will be talking to, and we are not talking to anyone else. And then from there on, we will send the RFQ and the RFP. Then now we will have those proposals, and then we are able to move, and then we negotiate, and then we sign the contract, we start working, we finish the work, and we transfer the properties. So as I said that I was thinking that by this Friday, we will have the project officer well signed off and everyone else joining the team. We are already there, so that is the milestone to appoint the project steering committee. With advice that I received, often the PSC maybe might need to have some local community members. And then maybe we might have a different committee in terms of the project management committee. So we'll have two. The other one will be internal, and the other one will include the communities. And then we will also sign a charter for all the information that we will be disseminating in order that that information doesn't land up in wrong hands and be able to be abused and eventually delaying or failing the project. So it is very important to have the declaration of confidentiality, and we will attend as per the quorum. So if we are not corrected, then there will be no decisions made. Then we also need a clearer strategic brief, but me and the director, we will work on that, and then we'll give it to council so that the council can look at it. And then there we will have our RFP. The important part of the RFP is that it must be legally sound and with no ambiguities, so that we do not have people taking us to court. Then we send it into the market. That is just easy there, and that is the supply chain management period. And what do we do there? We communicate with the bidders, and then we do what we call briefing notes. So they will give us questions, and then we answer them in terms of that process. Sometime here, I think by next year, in February or so, I am very hopeful that we might be starting on site and working. Then we will go into the market and sell. And then we will have a 5-year plan on how to manage the facilities. Then we are fine. And then the private party takes his money and go. Chairperson, this is what we managed to achieve after all of these challenges that we had. So we're seeing there that we are going to add another little road there in order to can have 80 ERFs. So there we have 80 ERFs in the yellow and the orange kind of thing, Majiki. And then the purple, it will be our duplexes. We have 144 of them. And the yellow N shape, we have 104 flats. So we tested the markets, and then we looked at these, people will be able to afford them. And this is the FLISP, and people who will afford the houses from the lowest earner to the highest. The lowest earner has a FLISP quantum of about 169,265,000, which will be assisted. Now, what did we do there? We realized that the bank does not recognize people who earns less than 4,000 for a house. So instead of putting it as a deposit, we augmented the salary. We broke it down, and then we gave them in. Now they can earn 4,406.27, and then now the bank can listen to them. However, anyone else who comes from step number 4 of the FLISP quantum, he's already above 4,000, so we will take his FLISP 164,918 and give it to him as a cash deposit into the bank. This just continues. It is exactly people until about 65. The one who earns an amount that satisfies the bank and receiving the lowest FLISP. This is the FLISP process. There's nothing new about it. Chairperson, this is how the site will look like. We'll have 2 bedrooms. They look exactly like that. So basically, these houses, they are about 60 squares. Then we will have 3 bedroom, and we'll have the flats. Sorry?
Sorry, sir. Sorry, Chrisman. You understand protocol, Mosman. You also coming from where protocol is observed. So let's us finish what we are busy dealing with here. Then lead the committee members have the right to ask questions here. You coming from organization there where there is discipline. So respect us also. We are not in that field where you are. We deal with the field that we are also in. You can continue, sir.
Thank you, sir. We will have the 2-bedroom houses, and the architect, and I also need everyone to understand that, you see, this is a look and feel. It's a look and feel. It's not the final product. The private partner that we will enter into contract with him, he's the one who's going to give you now the real plan that he's going to sell. So this, please, it's just us still dreaming. We're still dreaming. And I said it earlier on that if this was a snake, you start killing it from the tail. So at the moment, we have no information. The private partner will bring that information, fund it, and get it live. So these are just us dreaming still. And we have our 3-bedroom and our flats. And this is how we are envisaging our entrance gate, our play area, and our health trails. This look and feel was done by my colleague, Busisiwe Kanyile. I think I rest here. Chair, before I proceed, I'm not even sure that this will be an item, but I will allow director to lead us. The director has 2 more projects. Probably the other one comes from it is your waste to energy. It's not, yes. No, thank you. So with that, I rest. Thank you. Councillor.
Thank you, sir. Where's the acting MM? Now you're part of caucuses. Thanks, committee members. Thanks, sir, for the presentation. I'm going to allow the committee members and the technical team from the Nice Municipality to ask some questions, and then we are going to deal with it like that. What you have said here, this is only, it's a look and feel process.
Yes.
And people must understand that Nice now have a backlog of houses. And we want to unlock certain things in our community because I believe certain areas and certain people in Nice now will never look after when it comes to housing. And housing have to play a critical role in our communities, especially these people that are earning more than 3,500 and up will never have opportunity to get houses in the Knysna municipality. The Knysna municipality never provide really for them. Everything that they have to do is by themselves. And we are going to look into this process, and we are going to ask some questions. So I will start from my committee members, because I also have certain questions that I want to ask, and we want to get clarity. But I can see that it's not a final product. There will be still engagements around this whole thing and how we can take it forward. So at the end of the day, that people can benefit out of it, the community can benefit out of it. And sometimes in life, even if you take the right decision, certain people will not be happy. Even if you take the wrong decision, certain people will not be happy. Unfortunately, this is how life is. But we have to move with it and see what we can get out of it. Committee members, before the committee members, I want the doc, and then the committee members.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Remy, for the presentation. You were after all not so nervous.
I can't hear you, doc, because you...
Oh, you must switch off your... Yeah, he's nog altijd nervous. Thank you for the presentation. Just one or two comments, because I'm sure it might come up. One, obviously, there's a behind this, they've been appointed to develop what we call the concept. So the concept is there, and we have some idea of what, and the purpose of this meeting is really to inform councillors, and then for councillors to say, okay, you're on the right track. I know there's a lot of administration, a lot of project management, project controls, which is the earlier part, but that is something that the administration can sort out. But I think it's important, especially Mr. May, in relation to yesterday's conversation, to see that how it can actually work when we engage with, let's call them private sector partners. So I think the important point, councillors, to remember here, and officials, is it's about project, it's about the risk. The point about the transfer of the risk is a very important point, because we are not in a position financially to say, here's our 200 million. We have to go out to the market. And that going out to the market is related, at the end of the day, to what the subsidy system work. And I don't know, Raymond, if you most probably still have that slide, is in terms of giving people an indication about what the cost, broadly, the construction, not the sales price, just the construction. I think it would be a good idea, just so that people can see what that, I think it was 400 and 500, those kind of things. So that's the first point about the risk transfer, is very important, which is exactly the same discussion that we had yesterday, that we're transferring that risk to a outside partner. Yes, they will obviously, I mean, they're not doing it for Mahala, but that come after a while. The second thing is, I think, where we had some of these initiatives before is the procurement process. The whole principle behind a transactional advisor is that they are able to, not short circuit, that would be a wrong word, to shorten the process of getting a contractor on board and to manage all that process. That's why you will recall in the resolution we said that they must do a turnkey project management delivery. So they will do all of those things on our behalf. Obviously, my office is involved in that, and those practical things we will sort out in terms of project office and whatever. I think the other thing, as you can also see, Chair, is it is very much linked to the potential of FLISP. And obviously, we recognize, and especially for the one member of the project steering committee of the community side that's here, we recognize that there are people that most probably has always seen this thing as they want to do their own thing. It's just that obviously their own thing is within a broader perspective. So we're not talking about that original 61 plots that when we started out, we're now talking about a whole of, which obviously is a phase kind of development. It's not going to happen all in one. I am aware, and that is where the technical discussions will continue, I'm aware that there's obviously infrastructure pressure, and we will discuss with them in terms of, alternative technologies, solar power and all of those kind of things that can help put, take away the pressure on Knysna in terms of our current infrastructure. And the last thing I want to say is this is all still subject, not to public consultation, but to the applicant's consultation. You will note, Chair, that we have something like 160, most probably 200 by now, that we verified, as I said earlier, and those are the people that we will involve, that we will consult with. So in terms of public process, the intention is to meet with the steering committee next week, Monday, that's a scheduled meeting, and then to arrange an applicants meeting where either my colleague can come or we will do the presentation on his behalf, the non-technical part, where we can at least show people what potentially can happen. Because I think it's important that especially the applicants, that they know what it is that we're trying to achieve here. And then obviously then to get people to come in and confirm, yes, I am interested in this, or I'm interested in this, or I'm interested in that. So that process will move forward. That's why, for example, I've asked the lean to come, because the lean work in Hornley in particular, in terms of helping with that registration. So that is where we are at the moment, but I just want to say for our internal colleagues, especially in infrastructure, and so there's obviously, and planning, there's obviously a lot of internal discussion we still need to do in terms of the planning. Raymond, is the planning application in, or is it submitted already by? Okay, so there is a planning application, the drawing that you saw before. And once the planning application is sorted, obviously, then we'll be able to say, okay, these are the individual urban, and then we can start to deal with, which I imagine by now is an urgent issue around those individual urban, the 80. So I just wanted to add that so that people, councillors understand our process. Thank you.
Thanks, Director. Committee members? I see you, my leader. I see you.
Chair, thank you very much for the presentation. Although the presenter said not yet final, because, so I like to know the few, he talking about the flats. Huh? Will be the singles, will be the flats, or how will it look like when it's complete in terms of the building? But I'm so happy for the presentation, you can accommodate more people and get houses there. Thank you, Chair.
My leader, my councillor Aubrey, you're on the floor.
No, thank you very much, Chair of the meeting. No, Chair, look, I think first and foremost, allow me to take this opportunity and thank you as the Chair. Secondly, I think I must also follow suit in terms of welcoming the presentation. The latter speaker is correct. The presenter says that this is not the final product, but at least we can clearly see that we are moving towards we are moving to a direction where, Chair, we are going to address this main issue. This other issue which you spoke about. Remember, some of the people here, we've got people, I mean, this is the issue which we've been raising. As to where do we accommodate, our colleagues, those who are earning more than 3,501 and 1 cent. Our police, our correctional officers, teachers, and so on and so forth. I think this is going to address that. I think I want to welcome, Chair, I must go to have a question if the product was final. And having listened in terms of with the project and the appointment of the contractors and so on and so forth. But my interest, I remember initially when we kickstart this issue of the 339, there were a group specifically in that area which would seek those people. I remember some time when we started. Well, my interest there, I remember some time ago, so that we really, as I've indicated, I welcome the presentation because I think this thing is going to take us to a direction. I want you to get me, everything is good. But my interest, Chair, I wanted to check because some of other people which reside, I remember some time ago, there was 20% which is not coming from the area, which will come from other areas, including our areas, and my interest now, I wanted to understand, and if my memory serves me very well, there was a steering committee established, because I don't want when this thing start, because after this meeting, I must also be able, because remember, from the ward I'm coming from, there's teachers there, there's nurses, there's people which, some of them are renting out these RTPs which are built for poor people. Now, always they wanted to understand, where are we going to be accommodated? So that's why I wanted to understand. So that when we start, this thing is kickstarting the project, there is no fight, there is no problems. So my first question, as the department, there was a steering committee, I don't know, I remember there was a steering committee, And I'm sure if you guys consulted with the steering committee so that when we can start now fight that, because there's a direction now. I mean, I will also be able to stand tall now and say to those ones who are busy buying RTPs, I mean, buying this and that, there will be an opportunity come 3339, you know, so our people must open, I mean, the hour to call, you know, I mean, you remember, as the president have indicated, 108, 144, and this also, you know, I mean, that clearly indicates that at least a lot of people are going to be accommodated. But my interest, first and foremost, the people which that particular project was meant for, those of that particular area called Ward 11, Ward 6 only, you know, have we consulted with them? Or if yes, how far are we? I think let me stop there. Otherwise, I've got nothing much to check. Otherwise, I really, once again, I want to welcome this presentation fight. There's a fight, there's a direction, and I think this thing must be fast track, you know, and as the president have indicated that this is what fighter we've been talking about. I mean, this triple P, the partnership, because I know from where I'm sitting, there are a lot of people which wants to come to the fore. I mean, you know, we spoke the other day about a lot of other properties where we can bring our people closer to town. You see, and I think once this one is kickstart, other projects will be registered so that we can really come to town. So I think let me pause there. If I can just get a clarity there, then I'll be very, so that we are able to move. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. After you spoke, Director, I will allow Councillor Lavelle to also to speak, and then Councillor Arendse, you want to say something? Okay, then I also want to welcome our mayor here. I see there's our mayor. There's the mayor, Matika. He's dressed in white today. He's like an angel. I don't know why he's dressed like in white today, because he's an angel today. But also, Director, you can start, and the mayor can start, and then I will, after the Director first, and then Councillor Lavelle, then the mayor.
Just in response to the question from the Councillor, yes, there is a project steering committee. Councillor will remember in the original original resolution, there was the establishment of steering committee. So there is a steering committee. I had a few meetings with them. I have a meeting scheduled for the 10th where I will take this presentation. So it's not a day, you know, obviously between our last conversation and now there's been a bit of a time lapse, but we have scheduled a meeting where we can take this forward. On the second thing is that there is obviously, when this project started, councillors must remember we only were looking at 61, that kind of horseshoe kind of shape, that 63, yeah. Oh, then councillor remember the exact figure, 63 years. Now it is obviously, I've asked him to look at the whole site. So that's why we need to look at submit a new planning application, obviously. So it's now much bigger. Councillor is correct that there was the 20%, but I can most probably say, Councillor, we are now beyond that 20%. Because we have now a larger project. You know, it's not that only original 63 anymore. So I do think this presents an opportunity to really deal with the issue that councillors always raise around spatial justice and all those kind of things. But very important, there is no way that people will jump the queue. Because what we are using is that we're looking at the registration that people originally, where the applicants are originally registered. So it doesn't mean that people that are coming in now will be able to jump the queue, because we are looking at that date. When people register on HSS on the database, they get a registration number and they get a registration date. And those are the two things that we are using. And we already communicated with applicants that if we get to a point where there are too many applicants and we only have, then that will be the guiding. And that is why I said earlier that we have submitted that list that we have now of plus minus 160 people to province so that they can do verification. They have come back and there's no problem, just to make sure that things are. So definitely, yes, we are following the recommendation or the resolution. And as I suggest that we already have people, especially since the last presentation and the mayor's online, I think the the discussion that went online or the communications statement, we had a number of people coming into the office and we continue to have a number of people. There's a list 3 now where we already have 27 people on. But we are following the process step by step so that so that people know if you need to first come and register so that we can have that date and we follow that process. It does suggest, Councillor, that I will discuss that on Monday night with the committee, that they might have to expand on the steering committee itself in terms of representation. Because you might recall that the steering committee originally was really just in terms of the original group of people that were interested. So yes to all the questions that you have asked. And thank you for your support.
Thanks, Director. Councillor Lavelle, can you hear me?
Chair, I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You know, I always hear you.
Thank you. Thank you. I want to welcome the presentation, and it will be, I hope it will be successful, really. So many successful plus projects in the whole of Eastern Cape. And I think NISA can be part of to have a successful one. It's my hope for this. What I like about, without parroting, Chair, what everyone else says, because that wastes a lot of time, the things that our colleagues say. But just for me, what's important is the risk analysis, which I think was good. One of the issues that was pointed out was the community resistance, which I think challenge, but it was mentioned in the report, and as you said, it's not a final report, it's a preliminary report, and other things will happen afterwards. But I think that was good in terms of the financials. Notes that there won't be upfront municipal capital investment, etc. Privately funded, there's a partnership. So I think that's a great thing for the municipality. So there was a bit more details, but I think the issue still for me is the community share, the community resistance, and looking at, what potential limitations there might be there. But if there shouldn't be a problem. That is, to me, that is it, as long as everybody support this, with all the different typologies and the different suggestions, that that will not be a barrier to this project. But I think that's all I want to say, Chair. I report, and I hope it actually succeeds. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Lavelle. Maya?
No, thank you, Chair Fighter. Thank you very much for the presentation. I can see that you are moving in your department. That's what we want. Because our community and members have been waiting for opportunities like this, for them to receive their plots and for them to receive houses. So I think this development will assist in terms of addressing the challenges of houses, especially those that are middle income, your working class, that do not afford to rent. You understand that even in town, it's very difficult. One of the issues I've raised last week, it's difficult for anyone working in the municipality to rent in town. So when we take them out of flats, we are saying that they must go and rent in the locations. So but at least these opportunities will assist. So one of the issues that I want to say that the presentation that we discussed even yesterday, it's the BFI funding in terms of infrastructure development will also come in play. So in opportunities like this, because after this one is Heather Valley, is your Brenton, it's many other pockets of land, even the flats. Because one of the issues will be raised is that, okay, how is it going to impact in terms of our waste, in terms of our sewer, in terms of our water bulk supply? Because the more there's development, there's also an impact in terms of our waste, in terms of our sewer, in terms of our bulk supply. So I think we will welcome it. I'm happy that it's still the final draft stages. There will be more consultation that's going to take place. But I think we should move on because time is against us. There must be those discussions, and then so that we can start implementing the program, the projects. Because people people are waiting for quite some time. They've been fighting and said that we want that piece of land, we want to build. So people are ready for projects to take place so that they can start be part of the projects. But I want to say thank you, Chair Fighter, for moving the direction and fast-tracking this, because we've been saying, same as Head Fali, we've been saying, but no action. But you can see that there is an action plan that is there. Thank you very much.
Pumi, then I will wrap up. You know, when I'm in my meeting, when you speak, you can't speak the whole day. But I will allow you. Don't worry, Maya. You know, there's something that we still have to move in your area. Pumi.
Thank you, Slada. No, mine is to sponsor an advice and an idea to the presenter and to the department. That this time around, perhaps we should look at packaging the project such that it comes with augmentations for existing infrastructure, bulk services, you know, so that we don't have a separate project and we still have to look for money to augment the bulk services. Let's rather use this opportunity to also look into the existing bulk services and whether they're able to cater for the development. If they're not, then we use the triple PP you know, idea to source the full complement of the funding for the project. Thank you.
Acting municipal manager for 12 hours.
Thank you, Chairperson. I also just would like to thank the presentation. I think it's moving in the right direction. It's long overdue. But I think from my side, also as a director, I think after this, we'll have to look at an integrated action plan for these type of projects, because what's happening when I've looked at this, all ancillary services has been excluded. So this is only on top structures. So I think what needs to happen, one of the recommendations perhaps from my side, is that we must have a clear integrated action plan developed between the various departments for such a triple P application.
Councillor Aubrey.
No. Chair, look, one thing which I've just missed to raise, you know, because some time ago here, before we joined council, those who were before us, they've made a mistake. And during our tenure, we cannot repeat that mistake. You know, I just want to make that into this thing. You see, we've got that own heaven. What is that own heaven where people are staying? Where we sell a piece of land for 20,000. People are still renting the very serious amounts of money. You know, so this particular project, Chair, and as I've said to you, I think I need to take my head off for you. You know, for you, Neil. At least the mayor is correct. You are moving. That's basically what is needed in the community. But those 63, 60, what people which you identify, and I'm sure all of them, those ones from that area, they are going to be accommodated. They are going to be accommodated because those people are not going to get any houses anywhere. And I'm sure once this thing is done, people are going to own the houses. They are not going to rent houses. You see, Tarek? They are not going to own, not going to rent houses here because, I mean, the very same concept was presented. Now, our people, the likes of Malo and no, lusemva kwakho kanye. Kuthenda kulibala ngo. Unwabisa uhlamba kantoni? No, you see, where I wanted to go, because Nwabisa also is staying there. She's residing on those flags. Those people are renting very serious amount of money they fight. And the piece of land, which those were before us, they sold municipal land for peanuts. And with the hope that our people are going to get houses there. Yeah, well, now we cannot afford now, Chair, to repeat the same mistake. I've listened to the presenter when he was presenting that whoever is going to be a project managed for a period of 20 years, you know, I'm sure people are not going to rent. You can do what you want. People are not going to, are not going to, those who are going to buy, get your land, you pay the bank, then you stay in your house. You see, I just wanted to make that emphasis. Otherwise, I think I'm from where I'm sitting, and I'm very happy with what the director said. We are not going to leave behind this, the project steering committee, including the chairperson, including those councillors who reside in that ward. I mean, everybody must be taken into confidence. Otherwise, if that is done and said, then I think we are going to move. Because sometimes, Fighter, we also want to, thank you, Fighter.
Thanks. From my side as the chairperson, I want to say to you, sir, that for the presentation is well received. You can hear from the councillors is well received. I always believe, this thing of that earth come from 2004. 2004, I was leading a process there in Honley, where my learner's friend on the left-hand side, far left, was part of me. That was driving a process where people have to get at least, that teachers, police, all these kinds of people must be part of that. We were driving it first. And we are still driving that process. So we are not going to have a situation, and I have to say it here, where people are just going to rent, but they never become the owners. If you see in the presentation, people will become owners of that. In the beginning, we have only deal with 61. But we must understand also that Naisna have a lot of young people and people that are qualified in housing, play a critical role and make sure that we deliver to our people. And that's why we have said, when I was appointed by the mayor as the MMC of housing, let's we deal with the whole area. Because there's other people that are maybe not part of the 61, but are on the waiting list of the municipality that can also be part and parcel of that. We have, in the presentation you can see that they talk about, it was 61 stands. We call it stands in the construction wording, stands. But now we increase it to 80 stands. But this is not a final product. Because what we said with my committee is by time that we have to bring the gate estate to our areas. A gate estate, if Mr. Spies wants to stand up at 2 o'clock in the morning, he can walk safely around the area without worrying who will come and steal and rob. This is the kind of things that we have to deal with. So I'm also happy that my director is going to have a meeting with the steering committee. But also the steering committee must understand also, there's also other people that also have a need for housing. It's not only about the 61 families. It's about the broader Naisna. And I'm glad that you raised the issue about Maya and about the other areas, because now not about the 20% and the 80%. And I'm glad the director have raised it, because we have to build a culture of a non-racial culture that we have to build. And this is why we are here. Because every day people are working as nurses, they're working as doctors, interracial work together. But why can't we not stay together? So that's why this project must be an integrated project. We include the different races of our community. And that is the stand that we have, that we are going to take. But I'm very glad that you have said that this is only the look and feel. The other process, and this is what I want you to take back when you are dealing administratively with the director and your team. How do you deal with the person that was blacklisted, that are struggling in the bank? What is the process that you can put into place also to assist a person like that? In the moment, previous years, that person was declared insolvent, he doesn't have work, and now he was blacklisted. But now the person is back on his feet. how we can deal with it on a separate way, how that person can be accommodated in the process. But this is the thing that we have to look into. Because some of our people, they are teachers, they are police, and some of them are blacklisted because of previous things, because they didn't have money or they lose their jobs and they can't pay. But you have to look into that situation also. That is very important for us. And I think that you can look into that, because we don't want a situation when our people go to the bank, then there's a lot of problems about blacklisting and all these kind of things. But I know that how you have dealt with it, you will come up with solutions how we can deal with it, because this is one of the crucial issues that we have to deal with it. And you can see this whole process, you talk about a 3 to 5 year process, how to deal with it. But also about, we want to fast track it by construction site must start in February. It must start, it's just 4 or 5 months before the elections. Construction sites, because everyone that want to have a stand there, they will follow the processes of planning and development. They have to follow the processes. So mine is, as a chairperson, I was bombasted in a public meeting around this whole process. And I said to some of the members there, we explained that we are going to use the whole of, we are busy dealing with it. Because there are people that just want to go into their house. There are people that want to build their own house. And this is what we have to look into, the whole process. But from my side, Director, before we go to the recommendation, you want to say something, then I want to go to the recommendation.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to make the point, because I assume we're speaking via YouTube also. There is no rental in this. This is not a rental. If we want to do a rental, we will do social housing, and that's another project which you will know it's on the next committee agenda meeting. So I just wanted, because I don't want people who has been in this process now for 5 or 6 years to think we are coming up with another rental. Because I know there's been bad experience in Reikmanshoogte and in those areas. So this is not a rental. I think Raymond explained clearly in terms of the bank bond. And what is also nice about this thing, as part of the whole package of service, the community or applicants will be helped to process their application. There will be almost like you would have these estate agent offices as part of that development, although we won't call it that. But I mean, that's effectively what it boils down to, where they help you with the process. So I just want to, because I don't want the story to go out that we're now looking at rental also. That is not. I think we have a program on social housing where we're looking at sites. That is a different thing. And as you know, we're looking at also with the help of province in terms of the Heide Valley development, of which we'll have a workshop in the next month. I think that was just important that we make that quite clear, that this is what it is in terms of the development. Just before you conclude, I just want to say thank you to the consultant. We started to work together now a few months, and they were quick off the, on the block. Did the pre-feasibility. Then we went into the feasibility, and they started to put a look and feel, the kind of concept design. So I'm very happy with the progress that we are making in terms of this development. There are a few dates that we need to look at, but we will discuss this after this meeting with you. But I think in terms of the process, we will be able to come up with a project plan. I take the recommendation from my colleagues from community services and from infrastructure. And planning, obviously, it needs to be an integrated internal. So we will look at setting up an internal structure that would feed into that structure, that the governance structure that Raymond referred to. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thanks, Director. Thanks, the consultant. I want to thank you. I want to thank the. Before you go, you doesn't just stand up and want to walk. You must sit there. Can we go with the recommendation in front of us?
Chair, are we incorporating the suggestion from the acting MM as a recommendation?
I will provide
No.
the text for the recommendation to the Secretariat.
Yes, we're including that. Can we go with the recommendation?
Yes, Chair, thanks.
Councillors that are sitting close to me, can we go with it?
Yes, my chairperson.
And you must say yes, man. Thanks. Thanks, we conclude with the recommendation. I just want to say thank you to all of us and everyone that was in the meeting. There's another big surprise in the Section 18 committee. When you are coming, something big, we are moving. That's the department we are moving. Thanks.